In the middle of September 2024, we watched the greatest intelligence operation unfold. And a 27-year-old analyst, she sat behind a desk, and she's going through the data from the war after the war, and she's seeing the pictures of the bodies of the Hezbollah fighters that are coming in, and she notices that each of them, on their chest, above their hearts, wears a walkie-talkie. And she goes to her boss at the time, who was the division head, and she says to Yesco, she says, how great would it be if we could put a bomb inside each of those walkie-talkies, thousands of Hezbollah fighters. You just push a button and they all have an explosive charge go over their hearts and kill them. They just drop dead right there. In most of our lives, when we suggest ideas to our bosses or to our teachers or to our administrators, and they're out of whack and they're not possible to be done, we're told that's not possible. In Mossad's ethos are different. It's a challenge. Okay, figure out how you're going to do it. So she created a shell company in Germany, which worked with a small company in Taiwan, which provided communications equipment to companies all over the world. They had a great online business, dinky little store in Taiwan, but great online business. And the next time Hezbollah came around ordering walkie-talkies, this partnership, this shell company in Germany interrupted the supply chain and injected a little C4 into every single one of those walkie-talkies with a remote detonating device. Thousands of Hezbollah fighters wore them for 10 years. It's a little bomb on their chest that they were unaware of. Nasrallah Mashima, the head of Hezbollah, at a certain point after 10 years, got paranoid about Israel eavesdropping on him and figured they were doing so through the walkie-talkies. And he ordered that Israel, being a high-tech country, Hezbollah would have to go low-tech to make sure that Israel could not interfere with their communications. So the most low-tech thing he could think of was a pager. No one had seen a pager for 15 years. You cannot go online and buy 20 pagers. You can't find them on eBay. Nobody has 20 pagers, let alone 5,000. Eavesdropping on this conversation, the Mossad agent, now 15 years later, tells her shell companies, we got to restock pagers, which is the equivalent today of saying we should restock rotary phones. You're like, that's crazy. Who in the world is going to buy this? But we got to have thousands available. 3 days later, the bet paid off. A request comes in for 5,000 pagers. We're all too happy to supply those pagers with a little C4 and a detonating device inside of them. And Hezbollah fighters are walking around on their waist with these pagers. After October 7th, Nasrallah sees what Yahya Sinwar Yamashimo was doing with his communications, and he had switched to no digital communications to make sure that Israel could not eavesdrop and was passing messages through the tunnels. And Nasrallah says, that's what we have to do. We have to do that. Nasrallah orders in 3 days' time for everybody to take their pagers, put them up in the closet next to the walkie-talkies, and they're going to go through handheld communications. Israel hears this and comes to Prime Minister Netanyahu and says, listen, you don't have to blow them all up, but if you don't do it now, it's never going to happen. They're never going to have these pagers. This is our only opportunity. It's use it or lose it time. Prime Minister Netanyahu orders on a Tuesday at 2:30 p.m. One page goes out to all the members of Hezbollah that have these pagers. It's over 5,000 people. Hold the pager up against like as close as possible to your eyes. Push 2 buttons simultaneously, and the classified message will appear. The reason Israel was doing that was to get it as close as possible to their brains. Not everybody, if you remember the famous video of the bomb that went off in the grocery store, not everybody answered the page. Israel blew up all the pagers. Only 42 people were killed by them, but over 3,000 fighters were taken off the battlefield that day, injured beyond the ability to fight ever again. How many Israeli soldiers were in operation on that battle? 0. The next day, you got to imagine that night, as one intelligence officer told me, he said, it's not that nobody else has ever done something like that before, it's that it's beyond the imagination of any intelligence service to even put something like that into play. They come back the next day to the Mossad headquarters. When they turn on the live stream from their drones and of the Lebanese news and see at the funerals that Nasrallah has ordered the remaining fighters to put the walkie-talkies on so that he could communicate with them, you got to imagine that was the Hava Nagila moment where they all start dancing and looking for the old detonator. And they blew it up. And 25 more fighters died on the spot. I was watching the funerals and saw the bombs going off and wondering to myself, who in the world is blowing up Hezbollah funerals? It was us. Tuesday afternoon, the first wave goes. Wednesday afternoon, the second wave goes. Thursday was the greatest of the days, because Thursday, Nasrallah ordered that the 20 remaining commanders, high-ranking people within the Hezbollah organization, do not use any form of technology, but rather get together in person at a certain apartment. 3 F-15s took off from Ramat David Air Force Base and planted 3 missiles straight through a window into their meeting and took out the 20 commanders. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Hezbollah is no longer a threat to the state of Israel, to the Jewish people. How many soldiers did we lose? Out of the pages of Tanakh, 0.